Around a year ago, DC All In was released, and from it we got the Absolute Universe, and man, since then all we've gotten is peak. And the person you have to thank for all of this is somebody you wouldn't have expected, and that's Darkseid. Due to certain events, he's found it, and man, it just shows us how much of a hater he is. So in this video, I intend on breaking down and explaining why he is the greatest hater in history. So strap in, because I'm about to get real in depth with this video. But before I do jump into the video, if you guys do enjoy content like this, you know what to do. Hit that like button and subscribe, as I do post content like this regularly, and to be honest, it's a win-win. You guys show me love and support, and I give back to you in the form of videos. Whether it's the Absolute Universe, other comics, or just fiction in general, in due time I plan on covering it, so be there when I go there. But I feel like I've rambled on long enough, so I'm jumping straight into the video and get into why Darkseid is the greatest hater in history. Now, not everybody's intrigued why Darkseid is the greatest hater in history. A lot of people say Reverse Flash, or even Lex Luthor, or just any other person inside of comics, or even anime. That's in history, so there's a bunch of medias that I could go over that does cover this topic. But the reason I believe that Darkseid is the greatest hater in history is because of the stories that he has given us. Now, I'm not going to say and lie, Reverse Flash has given us some great stories due to his hatred for Barry, and he is definitely in the running, but because of the Absolute Universe and Darkseid's hatred prior for Superman, Superboy, and just everybody else included in that group, and even the Justice League, I think that he's the greatest. Now, I'm not going to sit here and act like Reverse Flash and the rest of them can't be involved in this conversation. They definitely can be, but in my opinion, I believe he's up there. And the pettiness of it is also why I believe that he is here. Now, the reason I say petty is because Darkseid has fought the Justice League on many occasions, but on certain occasions, like big events inside of certain people's stories, he has been held a little bit more than he'd like to be. And somebody that has held him on a consistent basis that technically shouldn't be able to is Batman. That he respects him to a degree that he wouldn't even think for Superman. And that's insane. That's how you know every single time Batman and Darkseid have ran into each other, Batman has done what Darkseid thought could be impossible, because he's just a human. And we all know the famous scene of where Batman actually shoots a gun, and this was for Darkseid, and he quite literally held him there, nearly killed him. Another time was when he went into Apocalypse to go and get Damian. And may I say that this outfit right here, this suit that he made, is probably one of the coolest suits that we've seen. I love this comic book run, but yeah, Batman has done it consistently. Even here, where he literally says that he does respect Bruce, it's very clear that he does respect him. But at the exact same time, there seems to be some sort of hatred there that the Absolute Universe has brought out in him. Now, there are other stories going on, and to be honest, the other stories, they don't, let's just say, they're going through bad stuff because the whole Absolute timeline is built off of the universe being bad. Everything here is meant to be this way, but it's also meant to show that the heroes will forever rise up amongst all of the bad stuff that's going on inside of their lives, and that is why they are the Justice League, and that is why they are some of the greatest heroes ever, if not the greatest heroes ever. So because of that, you need to put them through some of the most emotional and physical turmoil. For Wonder Woman, she's going through it. For Superman, he's going through it. For Martian Manhunter, he's going through it. They're all going through it. But in my eyes, and everybody else's eyes, they're not suffering nearly as much as Batman. While using this video to also say that Darkseid is one of the greatest heroes in history, I'm going to double it up as an absolute Batman rundown. Now, as of the recording of this video, there have been 12 issues released for Absolute Batman, and Every issue has been great, peak, I'd say. And during those 12 issues, Batman already has been through hell. Like, it isn't even close to anything else everybody else has suffered. And he has way more to come. As we've all seen, the Joker has been revealed by Scott Snyder. And Jesus Christ, he is going to be fighting a symbiote. But we'll leave that for a little bit later. Let's go through Absolute Batman and talk about how great the story is. But on top of that, how Darkseid truly hates him deep down. Because there's no way that he would put him through this if he didn't hate him the most. Now, for the first few issues, Batman is going through Black Mask's whole crew and he's just learning new things. Obviously, his time as Batman has recently started up, so he's going around and he's doing what he can do. He's obviously showing us that he is very strong and he is different. Now, before I actually do get into that, we should talk about his home life and everything that's happening there. And the reason I'm going back to his home life is because Batman's home life really does show us who he will be as a character. Obviously, our regular Bruce is rich. Both his parents died, raised by Alfred, and obviously he went through everything, and to this day he's still out there fighting, but he is fighting for a cause to obviously save his city because Gotham is his city. He is a Wayne. They basically own Gotham, so he has to go out there, and well, he believes that he has to go out there, protect it during the day and during the night. Now, this Bruce, he isn't rich. Technically, he has no standing. I mean, his mother does. Oh, by the way, yeah, his father died. His father was a teacher, but he died. His mother, she's alive, and she's helping Jim Gordon, who we all know is the commissioner, but obviously he is now, well, was the mayor, and his friends. Now, his friends in this timeline are people you wouldn't expect. In this timeline, Bruce's friends are his rogues gallery. Yeah, the Riddler, Ozzy, Croc, they're all his friends. Them being his friends is cool, but in a recent issue, the most recent one, second to last one, it has come back to bite him in the ass. Now, everything that goes on inside this timeline in the beginning is pretty fine. I mean, him fighting Alfred was kind of cool. We kind of hold Alfred, to be honest. He actually did Alfred pretty dirty, and oh, Alfred didn't help raise him because Alfred's actually just a war general who just goes around and like does stuff. We obviously, he has been explained, but I feel like there's a little bit more that we need to see with Alfred. Like, he's shown us his cards, but I feel like there's one card he's missing. But yeah, Alfred is actually a military guy, and he meets up with Bruce. He has conflicting thoughts about him, but in the end, obviously, they start working together. Now, in the beginning, Batman is doing what he can. Obviously, we expect him to get beat up. He gets beat up pretty bad, but he comes back every single time. But what really gets you here is after he defeats Black Mask, or just as he's about to, Black Mask says that you don't really understand what's gonna happen when you take me out. Like, genuinely, you're gonna take me out and think it's fine, but it's not. Now, Bruce doesn't care. He says he'll protect Gotham, so he damn near kills him. Also, I should also tell you that this Bruce has an axe for a symbol. Yeah, you see that big symbol? It actually doubles up as an axe, which I think is very cool, because when everybody first saw the symbol, they was like, why is the symbol so big? But you found out why. And so, yeah, he gets rid of Black Mask, and he's now finding out new stuff. One of his friends matches, well, let's just say he didn't go out in the best way, but this forces Bruce to then go on and see where he was leading him. And where he goes to and who he sees is shocking. Now, we all know about Mr. Freeze, and we know how he was created. We know that he froze his wife because his wife was going to die from a terminal illness, and so he kept her in ice to obviously preserve her body. Now, in this timeline, both him and his wife are actually frozen. But instead, what they did is they froze their child because their child had terminal illness, and let's just say they are now frozen and their child is out, and he looks like this. You see, so far, Absolute Batman was, I mean, he was going through some stuff, but it was just like, okay, he's just not rich here. Like, he's just doing it for the love of the game. But when you get to this point, it's like he's actually fighting the devil. Now you think, okay, Mr. Freeze looks pretty bad. Not much would go on past this point, but no, it gets even worse, because he takes out Mr. Freeze pretty easily. Like, it wasn't really that bad. Like, Bruce didn't get hold that bad, but Bruce is going through some guts level stuff. We are on issue 12, ladies and gentlemen, and this guy has gotten his ass beat by Bane like 3 to 4 to even 5 times. Bane, right? Bane comes into the story, right? Because obviously, as Black Mask said, you get rid of me and hell's gonna break loose. Like, hell's gonna come here. And genuinely, Batman was in hell. He was. I mean, you can see in the back, he was in hell. Now, how he gets to Bane is he's trying to find out what happened to Waylon, also known as Croc. And obviously, as I told you before, most of his friend group is his Rogues Gallery. So he's obviously went down there to go and get his friend, and he ran into Bane. Now, the entire time, Alfred is actually telling us the story of Bane, and we're finding it out issue by issue. And genuinely speaking, okay, right, Batman is, or Bruce in his timeline, is 6'9", 421 pounds. That is a big boy. Like that. No, genuinely speaking, he is like him. He's Himothy. But Bane. So if Batman had to be big, if Mr. Freeze had to be basically a demon, Bane is going to be one of Satan's favorite children. And the thing is that he isn't even on Venom right. The panel I'm showing you right now, he isn't even on Venom. He's just literally just that big. But when he gets on Venom, I mean, you're seeing it. And it's like, when you really sit back and think on it. Now, listen, I'm gonna get into Bane, because Bane is the devil in the Absolute universe. Bane is the devil, but Bane wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Darkseid himself. And don't worry, I haven't forgotten about Darkseid. But we're gonna get into that. Now, Bane and Batman have a little scuffle, and Bane beats the brakes off of Bruce. Like, it isn't even close. So, what happens is he throws him into a thing, and he's being tested. And obviously, they're keeping him there. And Bruce, obviously, he's got a tough mental fortitude, so they're trying to like see if he's gonna break or whatnot. And instead of breaking, he tries to go out there and fight Bane again, gets his ass beat, gets put back inside, and so this time he decides to buy his time. And let's just say he starts ripping out his teeth. And he starts using his teeth as weapons. And it doesn't stop there, because they've been feeding him through tubes, because obviously he didn't want to eat no more. Like, but it was smart from him. He didn't want to eat no more, or acts like he didn't want to eat no more, so they can put these tubes into him. And so what he could then do is use it against him and shoot out raw stomach acid. And everybody knows that raw stomach acid is one of the strongest acids ever. And so Bruce is now fighting all of these people, and then runs out again, and he gets beat by Bane again. Listen, it doesn't matter how many times he's gonna run out there, like, he gets beat by Bane again. But either way, he literally is ripping out his teeth and using all of his bodily functions just to get out of this place. And so obviously, after everything, the stress is built up and whatnot, he's chilling in this little confinement, and they put the suit, the Batman suit, in this thing, right? It's just hanging, and he's starting to low-key lose it, because he's talking to his suit, and his suit is genuinely calling out to him like the Green Goblin mask. Cause he's like, alright, cool. He puts it back on and he goes out there and he starts fighting Bane. Now Bane is still beating up on him. It's been 90 days. Bane is still gonna beat up on you. It doesn't matter. Like, you're gonna have to take that's years of work for you to like get to Bane size. And during that time, Bane is still going to be bigger, so it's fine. But he then finds Waylon and is like, you know what, Waylon, let's go. And rides him like a dragon out of the place. And Bane is pretty impressed. But this doesn't stop Bane. In fact, no, this actually gives Bane more of a reason to go out there and do something. Now, during this time, you do get Bane's backstory, and if you guys want me to actually do a real in-depth dive on the absolute Batman and just the absolute universe in general, then I'll do that. But essentially, Bane is working for these people because he wants to make his country and stuff just better. So, what does Bane do? Bane, as we all know, likes to break Batman. Now, sometimes literally, and in my favorite ways, mentally. And so that's exactly what he does. So you know how before I told you guys that Batman's friends in this timeline, Bruce's friends in this timeline, are all his rogues gallery. Even Selina as well, who we'll get into in the end. Yeah, essentially, what he does is he pays him a visit. Harvey, Ozzy, Edward. And yes, Bruce did tell them all that he is Batman. And so obviously Bane finds him and they try to fight Bane, but if Bruce, the strongest one out of all of them, can't fight him, then why can they? So what he does to them is actually terrifying. Because they knew that they couldn't break Bruce, they decided to break his friends, and by breaking his friends, could also then break him. Yeah, I'm sorry, you'll see it on screen. Bane does them insanely dirty. Like, this right here should be illegal. What Bane did to them is genuinely diabolical. Well, I mean, obviously it is legal, but this is genuinely diabolical. It's genuine. Like, he messed them up in a way, like, he knew their weaknesses and broke them. And that is insane. Now, how this all ties back to Darkseid is because if Darkseid didn't find this universe, if Darkseid wasn't influencing certain things, then this wouldn't be happening. And one thing that people need to remember is that basically this universe is putting them through their toughest challenges. Literally, they're putting, like, we'll see for the Superman story, like, Superman's hope isn't working, so obviously you have to, like, that's the toughest thing, like, that is him, hope is him, but it's just not working. Wonder Woman, she's going through her toughest challenges, and the rest of them, the Justice League as a whole, they can go through their tough, but this is Bruce's toughest challenges. And I think what this shows us is that Bruce clearly and by far has the strongest mental, like, we already knew this, but he has the strongest mental fortitude out of all of them, and his challenges are basically him going through hell because of how strong-willed and how he can always get out of every situation. What you've done, they've stripped who Bruce Wayne, like, as the character in, like, the regular comics is, like, the rich person that wants to protect the city during the day, but then no, this Bruce Wayne is a construction worker, regular guy that you could see on the street, but instead he then goes around and saves the city at night because he genuinely just loves Gotham. That's just who he is, and that is insane. Because it's like, it doesn't matter what you take from Bruce, and obviously Superman and, like, their backstories have been changed, but Bruce, it doesn't matter what you do to him. It doesn't matter what you do. He's always going to be there and be resilient, and that's one thing that's been perpetrated throughout this whole entire story. It doesn't matter what you do to him, he's gonna be there. And low-key, that's insane. That's how it all ties up to Darkseid, because if he didn't find this, then we would have to go through this. We would be seeing all of this. But hey, Darkseid, I mean, keep putting this guy through emotional turmoil. As I say with Guts, keep putting that nigga through emotional turmoil, because every single time you do, it makes the story better. Bruce is one of them characters that you just gotta see suffer over and over again. And to be honest, when Absolute Batman meets main timeline Bruce, he has to kill him. I'm sorry. He has to. Because I feel like, even though, yeah, this is some of Bruce's like hardest tests, I feel like if main timeline Bruce didn't hold Darkseid the way that he did and give him some of the most humiliating defeats or just humiliating moments in his life, I don't think he would have put Batman through. I think he would have been a little bit lighter on him. But Bruce, main timeline Bruce, bro, when he meets Absolute Batman, because I think they are gonna meet. I hope it doesn't reset the Absolute Universe, and I hope the Absolute Universe does stay its own thing. But I think they're setting it up for a massive, like, it's gonna be a massive event, and they're all gonna meet. Or at least they're gonna have some, like, because we've seen it all the time where like transmissions go through and like they're able to see the other side and stuff. And well, I mean, they actually are trying to get into and see what it's about. That's why Brewster's there. So it's like, when Absolute Batman meets main timeline Bruce, genuinely he may have to actually kill him. Like, I'm being so serious, because if it wasn't for you holding Darkseid on many occasions and you man not trying to stop Darkseid sooner, you could have prevented all this. But Absolute Batman's going through hell. He's literally going through hell. Gotham is hell right now. Like, we all make jokes about, oh, like, the crime rate. No, the crime rate in this Gotham, and like, you would genuinely have to pay somebody to live in this Gotham. And I'm talking about all of this, right? And it's like, yeah, Bane's breaking Batman and whatnot, but it's like, we haven't even been introduced to Joker. Like, we've just only seen the design for Joker. Another thing that I need to point out as well is that they didn't mention Deathstroke, which means Deathstroke is gonna come in soon. But and they experimented on Deathstroke, as we all know. Yeah, no, Deathstroke did get enhanced main timeline, but it's the Absolute verse timeline. So yo, all I'm saying is Darkseid is one of the greatest haters in history before this, for letting us see this. He's up there, because he's created one of the greatest universes, like separate ones that we've seen, but he's also like added in his own little like effect on it. But genuinely speaking, when Absolute Batman meets main timeline Bruce, you have to hold him back, man. Me personally, because the only thing he's got in this timeline, like Absolute Batman's only got his mother and Selina. Main timeline Bruce can get Selina, and obviously he can't get his parents back, but main timeline Bruce at least had like it goes like, I mean, I say Absolute Batman's Selina's, I ain't gonna lie, I think she's better. She is better, but Absolute Batman has like basically nothing. All of his friends gone. Selina's the only one that's left, and hey, Selina's the only one that's left. He's got his mother. His mother could die. You don't know what's gonna happen to her. Hey man, at least main timeline Bruce can go to sleep in a mansion. This guy can live like like, whether I say like main timeline Bruce can optionally sleep in a cave, this nigga genuinely has to sleep in a cave or somewhere hidden because he can't go outside. Main timeline Bruce could do it. Like, main timeline Bruce really chilling for real. Like, when you really sit back, like, you think, oh, main timeline Bruce, he's got like certain bad things. No, he can call up a Robin, he can call up Nightwing or something like that to come and help him out. Absolute Batman has to go against hell itself by himself. Tries to include his friends. Bane said, nah, hey boy, leave your friends out of this. This is big boy games. Yeah, I can't lie. Absolute Batman may need to actually kill main timeline Bruce, and I'm saying that like genuinely, because it's like main timeline Bruce, he's living comfy right now. He's living comfy, like, compared to Absolute Batman, he's living in the lavish lifestyle. Absolute Batman's out there going through hell. He has missing teeth. You can't even get back to, like, the only way is if Selina gives him money or some shit. Bro, he has nothing. He has nothing. He's bold. He's bold. He has venom in his system. Bro, he actually has to kill him. He actually has to kill him. But yeah, that is the end of the video. If you guys want me to cover more Absolute Batman, I will 100% will. Hey, don't even ask me twice. This is probably, Absolute Batman might be one of my favorite runs, just like period. I mean, we're only 12 issues in, and yeah, I can also cover the other Absolute Universes. Wonder Woman is very, very good. I'm loving it. So yeah, man, I love you all, and I shall see you guys in the next video. Good. Bye.